Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 22 of the Foot Basket Podcast. I'm glad you're here. Glad you tuned into this episode. If this is your first time, welcome. I hope you click that like button, subscribe button. That you'll comment on this video. Continue to come back. We drop weekly every Tuesday at 12 p.m. So just stay tuned. I also have a Instagram, Foot Basket Podcast. If you want to just stay updated and in tune with all Foot Basket Podcast things related. I can't wait to get over this episode. Draft lottery is out. Playoffs have been great as a team that's already in the conference finals. Shout out the Knicks. So we have some things to talk about. But that's what we're gonna be going over this episode. Nothing too crazy, no trivia, no NFL. Yeah, for all my NFL fans, we're gonna be talking NFL soon. I'm gonna have some tier lists for y'all. Um, Another big news that's coming is I'm gonna have a giveaway in the next week or two. Couple episodes. I'm gonna be having a giveaway soon, so you're gonna want to stay in tune for that. It's gonna be a free giveaway. Um, but you gotta be watching videos. Maybe stay tapped in if you wanna tap into that giveaway. But um, but yeah, I want to first give all the glory to God and allow me to be here. Allow me to record this episode to be able to have this YouTube channel and continue to grow it. I am so grateful for all the likes and subscribers that I have and that I get and the people that still come back. So I'm just greatly appreciated of all the love and all the blessing that has come towards this podcast. So I just pray it continues to grow and that you guys continue to enjoy this and I continue to grow in the wisdom that I need for this. Um, so yeah, let's. Another thing I want to mention as well, if you are having any quality issues, YouTube usually just starts it off at uh at like 360 pixels or something like that. You can just go to the settings in the top right, and you could choose the quality, and you could change it to 1080 pixels or 720, whichever one it is. I can't remember on the top of my head, but just to make the quality a little bit better. But yeah, so let's go over the draft lottery. We've already been talking NBA playoffs so much these past few episodes. So let's just talk about something new. The draft lottery was today as I'm recording this. It was today. Was it today or was it? No, it was today as I'm recording this. Um, there was crazy jumps, 3 jumps in total, which means that 3 teams fell, which is so unfortunate because there's some of those teams needed a top 4 pick in this crazy draft class. I'm gonna just inform you if you aren't really tapped into the NBA, which is there's nothing wrong with that being like a casual fan of the NBA. This draft class is one of them Bosch Wade type of draft classes. You know what I'm saying? Um, who else was in that draft class with Boston? Wait, was Howard in that draft class? No, I think Howard was in his own draft. I forgot who was in that draft class with Boston Wade, but I know that draft class was a banger. But this is one of them ones. We got, a top four that's like solidified between Darren Peterson. Well, AJ DeBonta is for sure number one. You got Darren Peterson, you got Cam Boozer, and you also now have Caleb Wilson, who's continued to kind of grow in that draft stock. He was kind of just an outsider, but now he's kind of like a solidified top four as well. And you can kind of even slide into that 3 slot. And with the draft being 44 days away, I feel like one of these top four teams can, or at least top 3 teams can like overthink them making this decision. Like right now, it's for sure it should be AJ DeBonsa first, in which he would kind of fit right into what the Washington Wizards have kind of already built, being kind of that small forward shooting guard. Number 2, having Darren Peterson as a 2 guard on this team, probably since Keontae George is kind of taking over that point guard role. That would kind of fit in right into what the Utah has just bought into as well. Memphis Grizzlies getting a guy like Cam Boozer, um, just the ceiling that he has. Any player that they bring in, to be honest, will work. But they already have like a guy like Cedric Howard. They have Scottie Pippen Jr. Why does that sound wrong? They still have Scottie Pippen Jr. Right? No, they do. Um, so yeah, bringing in a wing and a just a bigger guy is also just intriguing. And Chicago just takes that Caleb Wilson pick, but I feel like one of these GMs could just overthink it with 44 days left and it being so obvious. I guess is the word. I'm not this shirt's not really comfortable. I don't know why. I think it's the neck part. This is off track, but I'm not feeling really comfortable in this shirt. Maybe we won't rock it again. Shout out Polo though. I do mess with Polo. Um, but yeah, let me just say the draft order in case you don't know. So we have Washington Wizards at 1. We have Utah Jazz at 2. Memphis Grizzlies at 3. Chicago at 4. LA Clippers at 5, which it means Indiana Pacers lost that pick because it was 1 through 4 protected. And then I think the other protection was 8 through 30. So I think if it was 5 through 7, the Pacers got it, and maybe it was 5 through 8. If it's 5 through 8, the Clippers get it. If it's anywhere else in the draft, the Pacers got it. Um, but it went to 5, so that means the Clippers literally got the best they could get out of getting that pick, which that was from the Zubac trade. That was the trade deadline. Brooklyn Nets at 6. Sacramento Kings at 7. Oh my goodness. RP those franchises. Atlanta Hawks get the 8th overall pick, which comes from the New Orleans trade last year when they traded up to get Derek Queen, which now is looking like a terrible. I mean, it was already a terrible trade when it happened in real time, but like at least they were hopefully Derek Queen can just show us something amazing, which he didn't have like a terrible season. But giving away the 8th overall pick in this 8th overall pick is like Kingston Fleming, Noah is his name Noah Key, something like that. Even if you get lucky, you get like a Darius Acuff, bro. Which I think Darius Acuff is probably gonna go 5-6 somewhere around that range. But if he falls, you get a guy like Darius Acuff, which can also just be a superstar as well. I'm telling you, this draft class is deep, and I don't watch no college hoops. I don't watch no college football, no college hoops. So I don't know like I only know what I hear from word of mouth when it comes to the podcasters that I trust, the ones that I be watching all the time. Kenny Beecham, numbers on the board, things like that. And so, I mean, everybody's been saying that this is one of the deepest draft classes we've had in a while. So, having this 8th overall pick, if the Pelicans had that, would definitely be helpful, and they traded away for Derek Queen. Dallas Mavericks get the 9th. Milwaukee Bucks at 10. Golden State Warriors at 11. OKC thankfully stayed where they needed to, which they shouldn't even be here, but OKC's at 12. Miami Heat at 13 and Charlotte Hornets at 14. I forgot which. This is the OKC pick is from the Paul George trade from 6 years ago. I feel like that trade was, but yeah, that's from the Paul George trade. But yeah, let's talk about some of these teams. Let's start with the end of the draft. So the Charlotte Hornets, getting the 14th overall pick, I think it's perfectly fine. They're gonna really buy into next year, and maybe it can, they're not gonna be looking for a starting type of guy. They're gonna be looking for somebody to come off the bench, of course, because I feel like that starting 5 is basically solidified. You can make an upgrade at center. You can make an upgrade with Miles Bridges, but having a guy like Lamelo, having a guy like Khan and Brandon Miller, those are staple guys in your future and your now. And then with this 14 overall pick, I think it's perfectly where they should. I don't think it's like, oh, they got robbed or they got really lucky. I think they can do something with this 14 overall pick, especially how deep this draft is, and find a really good bench player, maybe a great defender, physical guy, something like that. So Miami Heat at 13. I think they stayed in the same spot as well, which hopefully they can hit this draft with the draft pick. They hit a little bit with Peyton Larson. They hit a little bit with Jaime Jaquez. So they've been hitting with these bench players. Is there a chance that they could snipe somebody? OKC being at 12 is still kind of scary because they got Jade up at 20 something. They got AJ Mitchell at 14. Who else have they hit? Nikola Topic, even though this boy played 12 games this season. Hey, he fell in the draft last year. Was it last year or the year before? And they were able to get Nikola Topic. Who else? I'm trying to think of this team. Chet Holmgren, which I think was they chose Chet where they were supposed to, but they be able to hit with some of the picks, like Casey Wallace, and use which I talked about during this season and in other episodes, that the Thunder know how to get to the ceiling, that whoever they draft to get to the ceiling of that player. So OKC being at 12 is kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. They're getting another thing that I was talking about earlier in the season as well in the other podcast episode is that they get another rookie contract player. So even if they lose a guy like Lou Dort, if they lose a guy like Casey Wallace, they lose a guy like Jay Will, which of course they don't want to lose these guys because these are people that represent the city. I feel like this whole team is so solidified, but unfortunately money issues is gonna come. They could keep whoever this 12th overall pick is, keep him on a rookie deal for the next 3 years, and he doesn't cost no money to their salary cap. They don't have to go into the second apron because of this 12th overall pick, and maybe he can provide the same amount of value that a guy like Casey Wallace does, or a guy like Lou Dort does, a guy like Jay Will does, stuff like that. So it's another L, but it's L for the league because the OKC team is gonna continue to win unless they hit injuries. That's the only thing that could stop them, in my opinion. Golden State at 11. I saw they brought back Steve Kerr, so and I feel like Steve Kerr is a winning coach. I heard they're also in the Giannis sweepstakes, so they're still trying to buy in. So maybe with this 11 pick, they could look at another like bench player to just bring some value off the bench. And if they hit 11 and get a starter, they hit 11 and get a starter. You know what I'm saying? But the Warriors haven't been hit with some draft picks. James Wiseman is one of the ones that they really took an L with. I hit with Moses Moody though. And actually, they hit a little bit. They hit a little bit with Guy Santos as well. T Jax wasn't bad. Something that the Warriors does as well, really good is they also bring out the value of players as well. So I'm not too worried about the Golden State Warriors missing on this pick. Milwaukee gets 10, which they can use. They can use somewhere like is a Clippers trade possible? Is Atlanta moved from Milwaukee Bucks using this pick to trade up to 8. Trading Giannis to Atlanta, is that possible? Trading Giannis to Dallas, moving up one spot. I mean, like it would be better if there was a good team here and it's like 1 through like if the Pacers, Giannis in Indiana, the spacing ain't that good, but who cares about spacing, right? Zubac, Pascal, Giannis. The spacing is terrible. The spacing is actually so bad, but who cares if Giannis is gonna dunk in your forehead? You know what I'm saying? But Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, hopefully they don't really try to trade up. I think they can make a play with this 10th overall pick and just get some more. Maybe it can, I think Atlanta team is maybe someone they really got lucky with even getting this New Orleans Pelicans picks. Or are they gonna take what they got, or they can maybe try to buy into the Giannis sweepstakes? You know what I'm saying? I heard they're not even in it, but maybe with a safe overall pick they can. Dallas Mavericks at 9. I think that's good. There will be some guards around this area, which is kind of what they need. I know they have a guy like Ryan Nembhard. I know they have Kyrie coming back, but you need like a really good ball handler. I know Kyrie is gonna release some of that, but Cooper Flag was really playing point guard for y'all this season, and Kyrie ain't gonna be there much longer. He's already been injury prone the past 4 or 5 years, so get yourself a little guard, Dallas. No, don't overthink it, please. Atlanta at 8. Which I think this is really gonna help the rebuild. I think you're gonna have a really clean, good rebuild that's not gonna take too long like the Washington Wizards, not too long like the Brooklyn Nets. I think their rebuild is gonna be really good. Hopefully they can hit at this 8 pick, and continue to grow the guys they have. Jalen Johnson, CJ McCollum is on the team, but he's gonna be expiring. But you have, hopefully you could get out the value of Zachary Sachet, because bro, that pick is looking worse and worse. Him getting 2 minutes in the playoffs, oh my goodness. We got Double O, which he's still kind of young. He's in the 24-25 range. So hopefully this A4 pick they can hit a little bit. Which I don't even know, because I had the whole lottery. The Atlanta Hawks ended up getting pick 23. They were going to be pick 20, but they traded their pick this year to the San Antonio Spurs. But they do get pick 23 from the Cleveland Cavaliers, which isn't bad as well. So they get 2 first overall picks this season. Shout out Atlanta Hawks. And I think they have a clean rebuild. Hey, bro. This is where I wanted to go to. The Sacramento Kings. They're gonna trade away, or they're gonna. I forget how much longer is on Zach LaVine's and DeMar DeRozan's contract and Sabonis' contract, stuff like that. They have three players that although they're old and they're on terrible contracts. Zach LaVine's on like a $35 million contract. DeMar DeRozan's like a $30 million contract. Sabonis, same thing. He's on like a $30 million contract. That's like $100 million right there, a year that you're paying 3 guys that like Sabonis didn't play all season. Which, like, a part of that is like, oh, we tanking to hopefully get, AJ DeBonte, and y'all drop it down to 7. But them falling actually sucks, and like, they haven't been good. They haven't been good in so long. Besides that 1 year with De'Aaron Fox, and I like the Beam year, and that year was looking kind of fun. Like the Beam year and they beat the Golden State Warriors that year. They had De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter. Which we just talked about last episode. I think they were in one of the I Called Game trivias. They had Chimezie Metu, and hopefully I know about Chimezie Metu now. Davion Mitchell was on that team, which I don't know if most people knew about that. But for them to fall all the way down to 7 actually sucks so bad, because they're one of those teams. Them and the Brooklyn Nets, both of them fall, are one of those teams that, like, they're not a big market, and they're not going to be getting the big names. They're not gonna be getting the Giannis's if Giannis is available and stuff like that. So they need to hit on their draft picks, and they unfortunately don't. And for them to fall to 7 is actually bad. Like I feel worse. I feel worse about the Brooklyn Nets, but they're at 6, and I think at 6 they're gonna be getting a guy like Darius Acuff. If cause I'm thinking, I'm one. I'm gonna jump. Let me jump up real quick. So Clippers at 5, right? Let's see the top 4 guys go out: AJ Bonta, Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson. The fifth, I think what the mocks are saying for 5 is Darius Acuff. The Clippers have Darius Garland right now. And like you're in a situation as a GM is like, do you take the best talent available and what you're supposed to take, which is Darius Acuff, or do you think of Darius Garland being your point guard for the future, being a solidified point guard in the team that you're like, all right, let me go get a wing, let me go get a big or something like that. Which I don't know, Keeksy Flemings, Noah P or Cole P. I can't remember which one it is. Those are kind of like the only other names I know about us around this range. Which would really, if I hope that the Clippers don't take Darius Acuff, the Brooklyn Nets can take Darius Acuff. I think Darius Acuff is gonna be one of them ones. And like I know he doesn't. I know like the top 4 guys are the top 4 guys, but I think Darius Acuff is gonna be a top 3 guy that comes out of the draft class. I think he's gonna be better than one of the top 4 guys. Darius Acuff, that boy was hooping in Arkansas, which again I don't want to call it hoops like that, but like I saw some clips of Darius Acuff and that boy looking saucy. So if Brooklyn Nets can get out of Darius Acuff, I think it's a win. Although you don't get the top 4, I think Darius Acuff is gonna be one of them top 3 guys that come out this draft. So if the Clippers like slip up on Darius Acuff and let him fall to 6, Brooklyn Nets, you better select Darius Acuff. Y'all had 5 first-round picks last year. Y'all don't have also the Brooklyn Nets don't have their first-round pick next year. I forgot who they traded to. They don't have their first overall pick next year, so y'all can't be losing. Y'all finna give a first overall pick to whoever it is. Probably a good team, yo. I know it's not OKC, but if it was OKC, I mean y'all gonna be giving y'all first overall pick to someone. Y'all gotta go pick somebody up that's gonna hoop for you now. Y'all have 5 first overall picks last year, and y'all didn't even really hit on them. Danny Wolf. What's his name? Jaeger Demon. Like they were just maybe I didn't really watch Brooklyn games, so I can't talk too much because I'm watching a Brooklyn Nets game in the Big 2026. That's a little difficult. I hope Darius Acuff falls to 6 for the Brooklyn fans. I feel for Brooklyn because another team and them and the Kings deserved, I think, a top 4 guy. Even if they dropped to 4, I think it was a win. Y'all were gonna get Caleb Wilson, and that boy's a hooper. But for them to fall to Brooklyn Nets at 6 and Sacramento Kings at 7, dang, bro, that thing hurts. I think Brooklyn Nets can still get a win out of this, like a major win with their Acuff. Sacramento Kings, you guys are cooked. You guys are completely cooked because like Kingston Flemings, Noah Pete, Cole Pete, I don't know which one it is. I keep forgetting. But yeah, I like they're around this range and they look promising. But like Darius Acuff and everybody before that, they gonna be the ones. And Sacramento Kings actually just missed this, so it's unfortunate, man. Chicago, by the way, now we're getting to the top 4. Shout out Chicago too. They deserve a top 4 pick, and although they weren't supposed to jump up, I'm not mad that they jumped up. I'm not mad at any of these teams that jumped up, and I'm excited to see how these teams are gonna build and rebuild with these top 4 teams. Because like the draft has now changed, the whole draft lottery and the whole system has now changed, and I think it lasts until 2027 or 2029. So it's like a temporary thing to see how GMs like it, how the league likes it, stuff like that, how it will go. But for this to be the last year that tanking is really like reasonable, like next year it won't be reasonable because like if you're I think it's the top 3 or top 4 worst teams in the league have a worse chance of getting a top 4 pick than a team that was like 8th worst in the league. So Chicago Bulls, I'm glad y'all jumped up because like boy, y'all trade deadline was terrible. Y'all brought in 7 guards accidentally because I heard the only reason y'all brought in Anthony Simons was for y'all to trade him away, and y'all literally couldn't get a response back. Rob Dillingham, hopefully y'all hoping that he can develop, but like just his size is the only thing I feel like is really holding him back. Cause like that man Bones is literally in the playoffs right now. He's getting playoff minutes. Bones has been trying to solidify himself for like 7 years now. I feel like he was with the Nuggets. He went to the G League. Now he's with the Timberwolves. He has a game where he gets like 16 minutes, 0 points, and then he also has like a crazy playoff game. And he's also one of those like smaller guys, but he's not even as small as Rob Dillingham. And he's one of them smaller guys. And I think also with Bones is that his size really holds him back as well. Um, but I think it's good. I think the Chicago Bulls are gonna be getting for sure Cam Boozer or Caleb Wilson, most likely Caleb Wilson if the Memphis Grizzlies don't sell, or one of these other teams don't sell. But um, Caleb Wilson, I think, is gonna be good for coming to this team. That you have Modest already, which is fine. You could run Caleb Wilson. I don't know if Caleb Wilson can run a 2, but I know Modest can run a 4. So you could just run Caleb Wilson at the 3, Modest at the 4. You have Josh Giddey, so your young core starting to build a little bit. You need that big man. Not hitting on Patrick Williams was an L. That was because after what draft, I think it was a 4th overall pick, 5th overall pick, something like that. To not hit on Patrick Williams was a big L, but I hope with and I also think that Chicago Bulls are going to be one of those teams that are in that eighth seed area. They're not going to be the worst team in the league, and that could get y'all a top 3 pick next year. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all just need a little big man. Maybe I'll buy a little bit this deadline. Not buy too much, but y'all got a new GM now that's running the show now. So maybe we'll see how he moves with things and stuff like that. But I'm excited for Chicago to come back into the league because they're one of the bigger markets that can sign those big names. But they just have been so bad, and they're missing on their draft picks and stuff like that. And Modest is really the only one that y'all really hoping to do good for y'all. So, shout out Chicago. Memphis jumping. Wait, did Memphis jump up? I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. There was I think 3 of these teams jumped up. Utah was probably one of them. I can't remember if Memphis did. Washington Wizards I think was always in the top 4. So I think Memphis might have jumped up as well. And Memphis I think is literally in the best spot possible, because you're supposed to get Cam Boozer, which is gonna be a win regardless. But if one of these 2 teams end up slipping up and overthinking under selection, you could get a Darren Peterson, you could get an AJ DeBonsa, which I don't think AJ DeBonsa is possible. I think if the Washington Wizards mess up, the Utah Jazz are gonna bring in AJ DeBonsa. But if one of these teams overthink it too much, you could get one of those top 2 guys, and one of those top 2 guys are for sure gonna be one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Grizzlies are literally in a perfect spot, because no matter what, the worst case scenario, you get Cam Boozer, and he's one of them guys as well. So, but like the best case scenario is one of these teams slip up, and you could slide in AJ DeBonsa, you could slide in a Darren Peterson. Cause if the Wizards took Darren Peterson, which makes no sense, I think AJ DeBonsa fits right into what this team is building right now with Trae Young, with Anthony Davis, Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George. Those guys are cool, but a guy like AJ DeBonsa is gonna get that small forward spot. You know what I'm saying? Alex Starr as well. So you already have your big men solidified. Now you're just trying to find that 2 or 3, that two spot, 3 spot, and you're looking through it from Trey Johnson. You're looking from what's his name? I just said his name. Trey Johnson and Keyshawn George, and now you bring a guy like AJ DeBonsa. So now you know what I'm saying. But there's no reason for them to. I mean, I guess you could still bring in Darren Peterson, but that backcourt between Darren Peterson and Trae Young does not sound good defensively, and it's a very small backcourt. So I don't think the Washington Wizards can mess up. Could the Utah Jazz end up taking Cam Boozer? Nah, there's no way. You already have Louis Marketing. You already have Jaren Jackson. You already have Walker Kessler. Y'all looking like one of the most tallest teams in like the last 10 years next season. If y'all end up running if y'all didn't get this top pick, y'all were literally gonna be running Keontae George, Ace Bailey, Laurie Marketing, Jaren Jackson, Walker Kessler. The shortest player on that team is Keontae George, and he's like 6'4". Right after Keontae George is 6'8". Ace Bailey, he's the second shortest player, and you're starting 5'6'8". Hey man, bro, I think they're gonna be getting there in Peterson. So I think Memphis, bro, it's unlikely, but y'all in the best spot. Y'all is in the best spot. But they're gonna be getting Cam Boozer, which I haven't watched much Cam Boozer, and I can't even remember who's on this Memphis team, because boy, I ain't watched no Memphis Grizzlies game, especially down that stretch. Shout out Memphis though. Even though, hey, I drove through Memphis one time, and boy, oh my goodness, them roads is terrible, bro. Hey, listen, bro. If you got any type of low car, if you care about hitting potholes, if you hit a pothole and you get scared, you start freaking out, you think your bumper gonna fall off, bro, don't ever drive through Memphis, bro. It might be worth whatever, however, if it's a 30-minute detour, take that 30-minute detour, bro. I promise you, please take that 30-minute detour, because boy, I drove through Memphis, boy, car almost fell apart, bro. I saw like 7 cars fall apart on my way. Yo, there was like 4 cars just parked in the middle of the highway because they hit a pothole and their whole car done flipped over, bro. I don't know, man. Shout out Memphis though, even though y'all be getting hated on by NBA players saying y'all hotels is trash. Utah jumping up, and Utah and Washington Wizards are really in the best spot. Y'all got the last year of these lottery odds before the lottery odds become crazy next season, which we don't even know how it's gonna work out, but they're gonna become crazy next season. Y'all got the top 2 guys and one of the best. This is one of the best draft classes we've had in a minute. Y'all got the top 2 guys, and y'all are buying this season. It's not like a team like the Grizzlies where they're getting Cam Boozer, but like, who you surrounding Cam Boozer around? Cedric Howard. You know what I'm saying? Versus like Utah Jazz, Washington Wizards, you're bringing these guys into a winning culture. At least in my opinion, I think Washington Wizards are going to be a playoff team next year. I think Utah Jazz are going to be a playoff team next year. Or at least fighting for the playoffs. I think they're going to be around, in my opinion, they're probably going to be like a 7-8 seed. Maybe a playing team, stuff like that. But you're bringing these guys into a winning culture, which is really good for them. And like both these guys I feel like are going to get play time. Watching the Wizards bringing in AJ DeBounce at 3 spot is perfect. Bringing Darren Peterson into that 2 spot with Utah, he might be coming off the bench, in front of Ace Bailey, but like I think he's gonna be getting crucial minutes. And I think for both these guys, it's really a perfect scenario. So, shout out Washington and shout out Utah. But yeah, shout out the draft lottery because it was crazy. It was crazy seeing those teams jump up. Because you find out when teams jump up in like the 12th pick, 13th pick when they're like, telling it out and stuff like that. But to see those teams jump up, it was like, oh my goodness, is Chicago getting a first overall pick this year? Shout out Chicago, but nah, they didn't get first overall pick. Let's go over to just the NBA playoffs just a little bit before we end this episode off. So let's start with the Spurs Timberwolves. I think one of the better series. Them and the Pistons series are definitely one of the better ones because some other series. But I try not to fall asleep watching them games. The Spurs Timberwolves series has been a banger, and like it's really the experience underdog versus the rising. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the rising young playoff team. The team that has experience, the team that has no experience. The team that's better, but the team that has more athleticism, more fighting them. You know what I'm saying? We can really see that in these games, and we saw it with the Nuggets series. That, in my opinion, I think the Nuggets had more talent and had a higher ceiling than this Timberwolves team. But we've seen multiple times, and I don't know why I keep sleeping on. I keep sleeping on the Nuggets. Actually, I was not sleeping on the Timberwolves because when I saw that we were matched up against the Timberwolves and we could have been matched up against the Rockets. Boy, we could have been matched up against the Rockets, bro. The Rockets. You saw how they played in that playoff series, bro. Ain't nobody seriously thought they was gonna come back down 3-0 either, bro. Let's be honest, bro. They won those first 2 games and we was like, oh, that's cool, bro. Ain't nobody scared of them, bro. And I wish the Nuggets would have played them because them boys do not play hard, you know what I'm saying? But that Timberwolves team, I told y'all, bro, I was scared as a Nuggets fan seeing them matched up first round because they're gonna play their butts off, bro. And that's what they showed that first round. And that's what they're showing now. And they're not scared of Wemby. Like, they let Wemby have a historic night. Bro, they keep driving at Wemby. They're letting him get his bucks. That's fine. He's going to get them regardless, bro. But I think Chris Finch and his team are doing great to show that they are not scared of going at the chest of Wemby, getting him in foul trouble, which I talked about. And they, put me as an NBA coach, bro. I'm trying. But getting him as a foul trouble, making him elbow your guy from frustration. Bro, come on. I already called this out last week, bro. I called this out, but if you ain't really tapped into foot basketball, I called this out last week that this was going to happen. If you, as a team, to go against Wemby, bro, especially in a playoff series, regular season, it's pretty cooked. Playoff series, if you don't attack him at his chest every time, bro, let him get his blocks, bro. He's going to get him regardless, bro. He's 7, whatever, bro. He's going to get his blocks regardless, whether at the 3-point line, whether in the paint, bro. Force him, if you get him out of that paint, if you get him frustrated, get him in foul trouble, that opens the game a lot much more, and that's what he did. Getting him ejected in that game basically almost saved their season, because if the Spurs go up 3-1, wrap it up. In my opinion, I don't think the Spurs could lose 3 in a row to the Timberwolves team. In my opinion, right? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can't lose 3 in a row. They will not lose 3 in a row to this Timberwolves team. So they really needed this win, and they showed it that they wanted this win. And it's a lot of Anthony Edwards just being a superstar. as well. Anthony Edwards is really just being a superstar. Which also, this is off topic. Adam Silver, bro, you were making me a little upset, bro, with games being on NBC, games being on Peacock, games being on Prime, games being on ABC, CBA, ZYX, bro. Come on, bro. Come on. How many subscriptions do you want me to buy, bro? How empty you want my pockets to be to watch the playoffs, bro? And I saw a post that it was like the most viewed first round in NBA history, like last 20 years. You know how many people? I think it was like 20 million views. About, dang, bro, dang. There's so many of those people that their pockets are empty because they're paying $90 a month for YouTube TV, or you gotta pay $20 for Peacock, $20 for NBC, $20 for Prime. Come on, bro. Come on, Adam Silver. Why you gotta do me like that, bro? I'm not really messing with it, bro. But anyways, going back to the series. Yeah, it's been a banger. I think the Timberwolves are doing exactly what they need to. Them bringing it to 2-2 was a must. It was a must do. And now it's just like another thing that's really been happening in this series is like whoever can control like that last 5 minutes of the game wins the game. And like with Anthony Edwards being that superstar and can make those tough shots, can exploit anytime there's a mismatch. Anytime he gets a mismatch on him, especially in that like the fourth quarter, he finna cook until you get double team. And y'all better send that double because he finna make that tough shot. Excuse me, shout out Amp. But yeah, I'm excited how this series is gonna go. I'm excited to see how frustrated the Timberwolves can try to make Wemby feel because I feel like that's kind of what in their game plan. They saw it in Game 4 and they might try to continue to execute that through the rest of the series. You know what I'm saying? Get him in foul trouble. Go ahead, let him get a 20-block game. Go ahead, bro. Y'all not the team that let Bam score 83, and that's all that matters, bro. You can let Wemby score and get 20 blocks, like y'all, bro. Who cares about that? 20 blocks in the game, bro. Who cares about that? They don't know that Wemby got fouled at that game too. Hey, and that would be a win for y'all, in my opinion. The championship is better than being a laughingstock, right? I hope so. Let's stay in the West. Let's go over this Laker another series. Boy, it's a snooze fest. And like it's not. I mean, it's not a snooze fest. Actually, let me say this in a better way. The OKC Thunder just look too good, and it's like no team. And we saw this in the first series as well. But I remember, I think it was like Game 3, that the Suns literally played their perfect basketball. They played a perfect brand of basketball. They were running in transition. They were creating the mismatches and hitting tough shots. They were efficient. They were getting offensive rebounds. OKC just answered it every time. Whether it was from Shea, whether it was from AJ Mitchell, whether it was from J-Dub, whether it was from Chet, it don't matter. Somebody answered every single time, and it's so demoralizing when you're playing so good and you can't even get the lead. And that's kind of what I'm seeing again in this LA series, where like LA can't even go on like a strong run, with OKC not being able to answer. OKC answers everything because of how hard their defense is, and they're gonna run that transition. They're gonna hopefully get cross mismatches and stuff like that. And if anything, bro, get that boy shade the ball, let him hit a mid range, bro. And I know there's been referee issues and all the complaining, but bro, OKC just looks too dominant, bro, and it's bad. It's scary for the league, bro. They got a 12th overall pick this year. I forget what's the chances of their picks next year. Who has it? I don't know whose pick they have next year, but boy, 12. Oh my goodness, bro, 12. They got Jada, but like 20 something. 12. Oh my goodness, bro. They got Jared McCain for what? Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, Jared McCain just had like a crazy game. I can't remember if it was Game 3 or Game 2, but like, bro, like, okay, see, he's gonna be scary for the next couple of years, bro. And like, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do as a league, bro. Who's the team? If I'm the Clippers, if I'm the Warriors, who else? If I'm the Suns, Warriors, Clippers, Suns. Hey, I might even put the Rockets in there. I'm selling, bro. I'm selling. Because I'm not winning. I'm not beating this OKC team. And there's not even point even trying, bro. The only chance of us winning is if OKC gets injured, bro. Which, by the way, they've been doing this all without J-Dub, bro. Jada been like in and out like the whole playoffs, bro, and it doesn't matter. Okay, it literally doesn't even matter. Jada has been in and out this whole playoffs, and it doesn't even matter, bro. That's one of the worst parts as well, cause like, dang, like y'all don't even need y'all second best player, third best player on the floor. Y'all just smacking us, bro. Y'all just giving us belt, bro. Hey man, if I'm one of them GMs, bro, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this team as they give these teams belt in the playoffs, bro. I'm selling, bro. There's no point in me being a Western Conference team and trying to make a run in the playoffs, bro. There's no point. There's no point. It's just gonna be a L. It's just we're just gonna lose to OKC. Whether we see them in the first round, second round, conference final, it don't matter. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. Shout out OKC though. They might become one of those teams I hate in like a year or two. But right now I'm enjoying it. Right now I'm enjoying them giving belts to every team. Maybe not the fouling, but like who cares too much, right? Let's go with this Pistons Cavs series. It's been another banger series. Donovan Mitchell is showing up and being a superstar, and that matters a lot. And we've been seeing it game 4. We've been seeing it game 3. This series, I think the series can go to game 7, and which game 7 will be in Detroit, because 1-2 is Detroit, 3-4 is Cleveland, 5 is Detroit, 6 is Cleveland, 7 is Detroit. So game 7 can be in Detroit. And Detroit is my team I'm really going for in the playoffs, to be honest with you. Even though I think that it's gonna be a Knicks versus OKC in the finals, I think even though I'm going for Detroit, I think the Knicks are gonna beat Detroit if they get out of this. Hey, I think the Pistons have been doing better at not having K do everything. They even had the other guys, get some buckets and have that mismatch and try to, make a play even if they miss. Which I liked. I liked the aggression. We had that Tobias Harris game last series, to close out the series and stuff like that. So hopefully we can see more of that, because like Dennis Jenkins has like little rise up, has a little rise up in the playoffs as well, which is good for the team. But yeah, we need to see more of that aggressiveness from the other players to continue to try to create, because Cade can't be doing this for the rest of this series, for the rest of the next series, and then try to do also in the finals against that OKC team. Oh my goodness, bro. Yeah, Pistons can't go to the finals, bro. Pistons can't go to the finals because I promise you it's gonna be boring. I promise, bro. Because they're literally just gonna close out Cade and let them boys try to make tough, difficult shots. Because it don't matter if OKC closes, all 5 of the players close the paint. They finna get to that 3-point line if y'all pass out, which makes no sense to me. But they're good defensively everywhere. But I don't understand. But yeah, this Cavs series is gonna be a banger. And lastly, this series ended in a sweep. The Knicks have won 6 in a row. I don't know what happened after game 2, because game 3 they won, game 4 they gave them belt, and this Philadelphia series it wasn't even that close, to be honest. It wasn't as bad as that game 4 Atlanta Hawks game, but like another like big thing is that Tyrese Maxey has said in the post game interview that there's so many Knicks fans in the building. All you hear is "Let's go Knicks" and a Philadelphia freaking stadium. And like another thing about that is like Philadelphia is one of them fan bases that's like really toxic as well. They one of them ones that's gonna throw some water at you. You know what I'm saying? For them to get overran by Knicks fans is, dang, bro. Ain't Philly. Y'all supposed to be one of the fan bases, bro. Y'all supposed to be one of them ones. You got Knicks fan base, you got New York fan base, you got Philadelphia fan base, Chicago fan base even up there. But Philly, y'all supposed to be one of them ones. Y'all supposed to be one of them ones, bro. Yeah, I got overtook by the best fan base in the world, bro. Hey man. Shout out New York though. They've been looking great, and they did it with OG. The last 2 games done it with OG, and they didn't even need to play in this game because they were up 3-0. So they were like, yeah, OG, just go ahead and chill, bro. I think he literally could have played game 4, but they was like, just go ahead and chill, bro. We'll just wait to this game 7 of Detroit Cavs, which is gonna give us a lot of time for rest and stuff like that. So I think the Knicks are literally gonna come out in that first game against whoever they play, Cavs versus Pistons, and I think they're gonna give them belt just because how much rest they're literally about to have after giving 76ers a sweep, and I think this Detroit series is gonna go to 7. But yeah, amen. Another great episode, another great week. Again, if you haven't liked or subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. Share this video with others. Remember to tap into For Basket Podcast on Instagram to stay updated, because I'm doing a little free giveaway soon. You can't see it in the picture, but it's kind of it's in this room. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be giving a free giveaway soon. So make sure you stay in tune for that. But um, but yeah, hey, shout out the Knicks. It's gonna be Knicks versus OKC in the finals. I'm already knowing. Shout out the Knicks again. Shout out the Cavs also because they would have lost in that first series. Boy, them boys would have been. We would have been saying some things about Harden. If you know, you know. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Make sure y'all come in to next week's episode Tuesday at 12 p.m. Stay in tune to Alpha Basket stuff related. I'll see y'all boys. Peace.